What's happening, everybody? Back at the grind again, and it's a really great win for the Clippers tonight because we basically flew all the way to Boston. Um, we had no stars. We basically had hardship contract players on with us. Um, Xavier Moon, who's basically usually a G League player, he got some minutes, and we still managed to beat the Jaylen Brown Celtics. Now, look, I get it. The Celtics did not have Marcus Smart and Jason Tatum, but the Clippers are basically missing a lot of their core players: Batum, Kawhi, Paul George, even our beloved Brandon Boston Jr. And yet, we still managed to pull it off. So first quarter, we were getting it going, that's pretty good. Everybody was doing pretty good in their own ways. Especially Marcus Morris. Look, Marcus Morris, like I said in the previous videos, he would he was like a lot of people, including me, showed some frustration with Marcus Morris, but lately he's been really key for the Clippers. He was basically key for us to win the game. He was making some threes, scored like 23 points, I believe. Got some rebounds, plays solid defense. He's like a nice, tough enforcer that we have in our team. So amazing. So shout out to Marcus Morris because he was he was on something else. I believe lately the past 5 games he basically averaged like 27 points per game, which is that's really good for us, and that's the Morris we need to see. Um, Terrence Mann, he always brought the tenacious energy he always brought. He was energetic, played some defense, hustled, got 17 points, and he also did his thing. And plus, I believe that was Terrence Mann's hometown too, like around the Boston area. And Terrence Mann, he showed out against the Celtics. Second quarter, the Celtics did gain a little bit of momentum. I guess Jaylen Brown was doing all the work. Um, Robert Williams, I guess he did show some hustle and all the stuff. I believe Robert Williams is a fairly underrated player. He's he has some energy and stuff, but of course, the Clippers they just they just pretty much pulled it off, that's actually pretty impressive because again, like I said, you're missing like pretty much your whole entire core team basically, and everybody stepped it up, that's a really good thing because it shows like a different side of the players. Ivica Zubac, he was pretty good in this game. I ain't gonna lie. He was he was playing like a solid big. Played some D, had some nice shot inside the interior paint. Just and then grab some boards. Which is that's what we need to see some from Zubac because one thing the Clippers could definitely work on is trying to get some rebounds. And Zubac showed that, that's a really good part. Ibaka, I believe Ibaka didn't do like maybe too much, but it was pretty solid. Nothing, not really major in my opinion. But we all know what Ibaka can always do. He's a great veteran presence. You know, he's really key for the rim protection stuff and everything. Um, we managed to see Xavier Moon in action, and Xavier Moon, I ain't gonna lie, he didn't do too much. Although he did show some quickness, but he did not score a point at all. And I believe he may have got some assists, but yeah, I believe he did what he can, but I think he's he's pretty quick, but like I said, he didn't really do too much. He didn't score. He didn't do really, you know, he was there to just temporarily played the point guard position, which is, I mean, hey, it wasn't like he was like the worst of the worst, but of course it'll be players that'll be better. Eric Bledsoe, like look, shout to Eric Bledsoe as well too. Lately, for the past 3 weeks, he's been improving on some consistencies. Of course, he can try to work on getting his shot IQ up. Um, Let me try to think who else could I like go on about. I mean, the Boston Celtics. I'm not gonna lie, their shooting percentage was pretty horrendous. I believe like what 9% from the three point line, which is, I mean, hey, if there's any Celtics fan watching this video, just mad respects for you for rooting for your team and everything. Good game and all of that, but but yeah, that's pretty much what I'm gonna say for now. I mean, there's not really much I think I could really cover too much. I mean, Keon Johnson. He pretty much did Keon things. Played solid defense and all this stuff. May have not been good as the other nights, but I didn't really see Keon do too much. But I mean, it's all good. He really did what he can, and so pretty much, so that's a good thing. And that's pretty much what I could really cover, honestly, because I mean, the Celtics had moments like in the second quarter and third quarter that they could have maybe had came back, but in the fourth quarter it was pretty much like, especially the last. Actually, they did show some promise in the fourth quarter as well too, but the last 2 minutes, Marcus Morris just kind of put that dagger on the Celtics, if you know what I mean, because there's no coming back from that, and Terrence Mann also it did not help when Terrence Mann just simply got an easy dunk or a layup. I kind of forgot, but yeah, that pretty much definitely killed the Celtics' momentum. And again, like, look, the Clippers have been losing the past 2 games, but I mean, this is a really impressive win because, look, like I said, I know I'm gonna repeat myself. You're missing all your stars. You're missing a lot of shot creation. You're even missing your really key players, and you still managed to pull it off against. Yes, the Celtics are also depleted as well too, but they still have an all-star in Jaylen Brown, and we still beat them. So again, that's a pretty big plus for the Clippers. So hopefully this will be the Clippers will gain momentum, go on a nice winning run. Hopefully we can beat the Raptors on New Year's Eve, which is, I don't know if I'll be covering that video because who knows what I'm gonna do that day. And also we got the Nets on New Year's as well too, which is, the schedule is pretty ridiculous in my opinion, but again, not really much we could do. But again, have a great night, Clipper Nation, and Clip K74, pretty much signing out.